Right. All right, everybody. I hope this is recording. Let me double check.
Actually, I guess it's fine. It's all about tortilla consciousness.
All right. Here we are on our, well, yes, we're drinking some tea from Starbucks, but I wanted to talk about tortillas and corn consciousness. So,
Tortilla consciousness.
tortilla consciousness and corn consciousness. So it's really interesting. I hope that you can see that we're all here together. This is a wonderful day that we, Laura and Johnny and I, went out to San Rafael because I had a coaching session, and I said to myself, you know, this is the intro, okay? So this is not about corn consciousness yet. So basically, I had this. I was going to go by myself to San Rafael, and then I thought, you know what? That's my old life. My old life would be, oh, I'm going to suffer through going alone. And, oh, I don't want to inconvenience anybody. And I have changed. I have progressed. And so I said, wait a minute. Actually, it was my husband Felipe that said, why don't you ask somebody to go with you? Latino, right? Like super, like always going to go in packs. And I'm like, yeah, I can be Latino too. I'm gonna call up my Latino girlfriend here. You can see, like, super Latina, and my Latino friend. And I'm gonna say, let's do this together. Let's go like a pack, right? So that's a really nice feeling. And so luckily, they were able to come on one day's notice. But anyway,
Ándale, familia.
Hey. So I want to talk about tortilla consciousness. So this is really interesting.
Tortillas. I just love.
Laura's laughing, but I'm gonna let's get down to that which is real. Okay, Satya, the yogic from the Patanjali's the 8 branches of yoga. Satya, that which is real. And let me tell you, this tortilla is the real thing right here. Okay, yes, I bought it at the grocery store. That's true. It's not made from the hands of my mother-in-law in Guatemala, but ahí voy. De eso voy a hablar. I'm going to talk about this. So let me just say that when I first married my husband, Felipe, look at my tortilla.
And how you travel,
Yeah, this is my cloth from Solola, which I've had literally, I'm not joking you, for 24 years.
No Tupperware.
Yeah.
No Tupperware.
We just wrap our food.
I love it.
Just like they do in Japan, and then you take it and put it in your little bag and
extra little mini.
Yeah. Which actually,
Canvas
that's from Japan. That
bag.
shows the Bochi Bochi. That's the yoga studio. That's our sister studio in Japan.
Cutest little bag.
Shout out to Yo-chan. So I just wanted to say that my husband is from Guatemala. He's a Mayan native, which, what was the name of that movie he said that's coming out? Ishkanul, something like that. That literally in a couple of days, or like starting tomorrow in my little town, there's it's an independent film that's going to be all in my husband's language, which is Kakchikel. Now, that brings us back to the point, so we can stay focused here, right? Mm-hmm. Good. You want you want some of this delicious
No, we're good.
delicious food?
Organic leftover salad.
So I just wanted to say, without taking up too much of your time, people. No, I'm just kidding. So I know you're all here just to relax and enjoy this conversation. But what I wanted to say is that corn and many of you know this, corn in the Mexican tradition, I'm sure, but moreover, I'm going to speak from my personal experience, which is in Guatemala. So corn in Guatemala is a sacred thing, like how in India cows are a sacred thing. So you know, that's why they would never eat beef in most people in India. And so something to think about. So corn in Guatemala is considered sacred, and I'm going to tell you why. Because in the one of their sacred texts, the original text of the Mayan people, that's a whole amazing story. That's called the Popol Vuh, or the Pop Wuh, which specifically Wuh means paper. So Pop Wuh is one of their sacred texts, like, for example, the Bible for Christian people, or the Quran for for people of Muslim faith, and so on, or Torah for Jewish people. And so so get this, that there's this book that not a lot of people know about, which is called the Popol Vuh. And you could look it up, Popol, and then the next word, Vuh, Popol Vuh. So that's the more common known name. And in that, it outlines how the Mayan people came from the corn. So they started out as it's that the creator and maker wanted someone to praise them, and so they created the people, but made out of mud. But the people made out of mud couldn't praise them, because when it rained, they just melted away. They couldn't even talk. But then so then the creator and maker said, okay, well, we're not going to give up. So then the next thing they did is that they were going to make the people out of sticks. So the people out of sticks actually lived for many generations, but they were not kind. They were mean, and they beat their animals and were just in general unkind. And so the creator and the makers caused a flood. This is the story of the Popol Vuh. And so the flood came and washed away all of those people. And then the creator and maker then created the next race of people out of corn. And so that's a whole other story about, it's really cool actually, the story about how they came from corn. So I've actually been, when I first went to Guatemala in 1992, I remember riding on those, those rustic buses, and it's like bouncy, people like holding their chickens. And like the whole thing. And that I saw this one lady, and it touched me so deeply that I guess that somebody had a big sack of corn, because everybody will make their tortillas by hand down there. So they'll boil their corn with lime, which is the mineral lime that's white, and they call that nixtamal. And then they'll take that the boiled corn to the mill, the local mill, and then get that ground into masa or dough. And then they'll go home and literally, make the tortillas, which I learned how to make. That will be another fun video. And so so I saw this lady on this bus, and she's literally squatting down on the bus as the bus is driving, right? And she's in the aisle picking up literally piece by piece every kernel of corn that had spilled, that had dropped down there. Wow. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is for real. I had just gotten to Guatemala, and it was like a whole amazing experience. So I just wanted to explain about corn culture, or about the tortilla culture. That's really powerful. So now I'm getting back to modern times, and so recently here we are now in the modern day of frankenfoods and genetically modified corn, which is just like, it's heart splitting, for the people that are from the corn. Can you imagine what that means?
Monsanto coming into your city or your town?
What that means to the Mayan people, or to people that come from the corn. I think a lot of cultures in Mexico too, because they're also about tortilla. And so one time my mother-in-law said to me, she said that if we have no other food but we have tortillas and salt and water, we're good. They're seriously into their tortillas down there. And so what I wanted to say is that I've been following tortillas the whole time I've been married to my husband for 24 years. And so when I say following tortillas, I mean when I go to the grocery store, what kind of tortillas are for sale there, right? And so when we were first married back in 1992, 93, I would find tortillas that were literally had 3 ingredients. They're corn tortillas, and they would be corn, lime, and water. And that was it. And then over the years I saw, all of a sudden now I can't find tortillas anymore that are not without dough conditioners and
15 ingredients.
Yeah, it's too much. And so, but guess what? Recently, and this is why I'm posting this, because I want everybody to support this organic corn movement. Okay, that is the larger purpose of this post, so that y'all understand that's my grandma's from Texas. So,
love it.
So y'all understand the power of your dollars, right? And I talk about this in my upcoming book too, about how about food and our vote of, you know, where we put our dollars.
Yep.
And so when you go to the store, because not everybody's growing their own corn and going to the, you know, going to the local mill and making their masa and making their own tortillas, that we go to the store and we're going to buy our tortillas. Well, now you can, all of a sudden, I would say literally in the past, in the past, maybe like in the last 6 months even, I'm serious, some of the larger tortilla companies in our area, so we're in the Sacramento Valley in California, that they actually are now have lots of organic alternatives. And I saw a gentleman stocking the tortillas, and I just had like a 5-minute conversation with him, and I said, thank you. I thanked him. I said, tell your company, thank you. We are buying organic corn. So keep the corn pure.
You're only buying organic corn.
That's right. And to the best of your ability, you know, we're not that strict, but we are going to do our best, right? So blessings on this meal. Matio Shahao, that they say in Cachiquel. And check out that movie. Ishkanul, I think it's called, IX. It's going to start with IX. Ishka, K-A, maybe N-O-L or N-U-L, I'm not sure. Anyways, message me or put a comment on this video if you have a question about that movie. And also, I'm going to post here, get this. It's an animated version of this story that I was telling you guys, the Popol Vuh, which was created by Patricia Amlin, who was a professor at UC Berkeley. I say was because she's older now, bless her, I met her, that she made this amazing animated video. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to post it somehow so everybody can link it in, or I'll put a link to it. How about that? On this video in the description or in the comments. And she basically did this animated version which tells the story of the Popol Vuh, and she had it translated into Spanish and into Quiche, I think. Not in my husband's tribe, the Cachiqueles, but into Quiche, which is close to where his family lives in Guatemala. But hey, why? So that people of Guatemala could remember their culture. Dude, I'm gonna cry. So this is super, super deep. Tortilla culture, corn culture, yeah? So blessings on this meal. I'm going to have some of this yummy food.
Blessings on the meal that we already ate before you.
And black beans, that's another post. I'm going to talk about how to make the best tortillas. Okay, love you. Mwah.
Good job, honey.